Hello friends, welcome to the tutorial series on network analysis made simple. In this tutorial, we shall solve some simple problems to find the Z parameters of two-port networks. I have selected such simple problems so that after you go through this tutorial, you will find that your confidence level regarding the basic concepts is enhanced. Let's go ahead. Friends, first we shall find the Z parameters of a single series element shown in figure. You find that the figure given does not seem to be a two-port network. So, we have to first represent the given network into the standard form of a two-port network, and here you find the two-port network. You also know that in case of Z parameters, V1 and V2 are dependent variables and I1 and I2 should be independent from each other. But from the given circuit, you find that I1 is equal to minus I2. So, I1 and I2 are not independent from each other. So, if you know this information, straight away you can say that the Z parameters are undefined. To check, consider these four equations to find the Z parameters. To find Z11 and Z21, we have to enforce I2 is equal to 0. But if I2 is equal to 0, I1 also will be equal to 0, which is in the denominator. And to find Z12 and Z22, we have to force I1 is equal to 0. But if I1 is equal to 0, I2 also will be equal to 0, which is in the denominator. Therefore, you can conclude that Z parameters of a single series element network are undefined. Friends, now let us find the Z parameters of a single shunt element shown in figure. Again, you find that we have to modify the given shunt element in the form of a two-port network, and here you find the shunt element represented in the standard form of a two-port network. You know, in case of Z parameters, V1 and V2 are dependent variables, and you see that from the figure V1 is equal to V2, fine, they are dependent variables, but I1 and I2 are independent variables. So, let's consider these four equations to find the Z parameters. You know, to find Z11 and Z21, we have to force I2 is equal to 0. So, here you find the circuit where I2 is forced to 0. If I2 is 0, then you find that I1 will flow through Z. So, V1 is equal to I1 into Z. So, Z11 is equal to Z. Similarly, V2 is equal to I1 into Z. So, Z21 is equal to Z. Similarly, to find Z12 and Z22, we have to force I1 is equal to 0. So here you find a circuit wherein I1 is forced to 0. So I2 will flow through Z. Now you find that V1 is equal to I2 into Z. So Z12 is equal to Z. Similarly, V2 is equal to I2 into Z. So Z22 is equal to Z. So if you represent these in the form of matrix, you get Z parameters is equal to Z, Z, Z and Z. So you found that in case of single series element, all the parameters are undefined, and in the case of a shunt element of Z ohm, all the parameters are equal to Z ohm. This you have to understand. Friends, now I am going to take you to a higher level of thinking, for which I have selected a very typical problem to find the Z parameters of the two-port network. If I ask you, is this network symmetrical? You must say yes, because this 10 ohm resistance can be modified into two resistances of 20 ohm each in parallel. So along the vertical axis, the network is symmetrical. So if the network is symmetrical, then Z11 should be equal to Z22. Similarly, if I ask you, is this network reciprocal? Without thinking, you must say that yes, sir, it is reciprocal because the black box contain only passive elements. So, if the network is reciprocal, then Z12 should be equal to Z21. Now, I am going to drive a very important concept, and hence I suggest you listen carefully. You know that the Kirchhoff's current law is applied to a junction point in a network. What does that say? If the sum of the currents flowing towards the junction is equal to sum of the currents flowing away from the junction, and that is Kirchhoff's current law applied to a junction point. But the Kirchhoff's current law as well could be applied to a black box. What I mean? Here is a black box and I1 enters the black box, so I1 should leave the black box. Similarly, I2 enters the black box, so I2 should leave the black box. Now, you see that in these two 10 ohms, I1 is flowing, and in these two 10 ohms, I2 is flowing. This you have to understand. Now, by applying the Kirchhoff's current law to this junction, we find that the current flowing through this vertical 10 ohm is equal to I1 plus I2. That is very simple. Now, we know all the branch currents. So, by writing the Kirchhoff's voltage equation for the input loop, we get Phi1 is equal to 10 I1 plus 10 into bracket I1 plus I2 plus 10 I1. By solving the simple equation, we get Phi1 is equal to 30 I1 plus 10 I2. By comparing this equation with the standard input equation of Z parameters, we get Z11 is equal to 30 ohm and Z12 is equal to 10 ohm. Similarly, by writing the KVL for the output loop, we get Phi2 is equal to 10 I2 plus 10 into bracket I1 plus I2 plus 10 I2. By solving this simple equation, we get Phi2 is equal to 10 I1 plus 30 I2. By comparing this equation with the output equation of Z parameters, we get Z21 is equal to 10 ohm and Z22 is equal to 30 ohm. Now, if we write these Z parameters obtained in the form of a matrix, we get Z is equal to 30 ohm, 10 ohm, 10 ohm and 30 ohm. Now, you think what we discussed before solving this network. We understood that the network is symmetrical, so Z11 is equal to Z22 is equal to 30 ohm. Similarly, the network is reciprocal, so Z12 is equal to Z21 and is equal to 10 ohm. So this is how you have to check after you find the parameters of any two-port network, as a matter of fact. Friends, now I will take you to a different domain of thinking. by solving the same problem which we have solved earlier by yet another easy method. Hope you will appreciate it. You know, the KCL is applied to a junction node in a network. So also it is applied to a black box. It states that the current entering the black box will be equal to the current leaving the black box. So here is a situation where I1 is entering the black box and I1 is leaving the black box. But more important point that you should know is the same current I1 is flowing through these two resistors of 10 ohm each. Similarly, current I2 enters the black box and I2 leaves the black box. But the more important point that should note is the same current I2 is flowing through these two 10 ohm resistances. Now, you know, current flowing through the series resistances, series connected resistances will be same. So, here also the same situation exists. Same current I1 will flow through two resistances of 10 ohm each. Same current I2 is flowing through another two resistances of 10 ohm each. So, is it possible to transform these two 10 ohm resistances connected into a single resistance of 20 ohm? Yes, friends, it is possible. As shown in figure, you see that two resistances of 10 ohm in which the same current I1 is flowing is replaced by 20 ohm in which again the same current I1 is flowing. Similarly, the other two 10 ohm resistances is replaced by 20 ohm resistance wherein again the same current I2 is flowing. So, this is the beauty of the concept. You see that seems to be a complex given problem is transformed into a very simple T network as shown in figure. And you know, in case of a T network, directly you can write the Z parameters by observing the network. So, Z11 is equal to 20 plus 10 equal to 30 ohm and Z22 is equal to again 20 plus 10 equal to 30 ohm and Z12 is equal to Z21 is equal to 10 ohm. By writing the Z parameters obtained, you get Z is equal to 30 ohm, 10 ohm, 10 ohm and 30 ohm, which is same as that of the results that we have obtained earlier. So now, here is a point that I would like to drive, that the same problem can be solved by different method, but you should learn to identify which method is going to be easy to save time, and that comes through solving different problems. Friends, consider this interesting problem. In this problem, the open circuit impedance parameters of a two-port network are given and we are required to find the correct option. Friends, once the options are given, you should be able to identify the option without calculation. It is possible, friends. Observe the network carefully. The network contains the current controlled current source. So, if any two-port network, if it contains dependent sources, that network will not be symmetrical and that network will not be reciprocal. If you understand this, you can straight away identify the correct answer without calculation by observing the given options. So, observe the given option B, C and D. In all these three options, Z12 is equal to Z21, which is the property of a reciprocal network. Therefore, all these three options are not correct because of the given network, the network is not reciprocal and it is not symmetrical. So, certainly then option A is the correct answer. This is a very important concept that you have to understand and the skill that you have to develop to identify the given option without calculations. Friends, now let us check whether our option selected without calculations is correct or not by solving this network to find the Z parameters using the branch current method. So, by applying KCL to node V2, we get current through 2 ohm will be I2 minus 3I1 as shown in figure. Similarly, by writing the KCL to node V1, we get current through 1 ohm will be I2 minus 3I1 plus I1 and that is equal to I2 minus 2I1 as shown in figure. Now, we have found all the branch currents and hence by writing the KVL for the input loop, we get V1 is equal to 1 into I2 minus 2 I1. By solving the simple equation, we get V1 is equal to minus 2 I1 plus I2. By comparing this equation with the standard input equation of Z parameters, we get Z11 is equal to minus 2 ohm and Z12 is equal to 1 ohm. Similarly, by writing the KVL for the outer loop, we get V2 is equal to V1 plus 2 into bracket I2 minus 3 I1. By substituting V1 is equal to minus 2 I1 plus I2 and solving, we get V2 is equal to minus 8 I1 plus 3 I2. By comparing this equation with the standard output equation of Z parameters, we get Z21 is equal to minus 8 ohm and Z22 is equal to 3 ohm. If we write the Z parameters obtained in the matrix form, we get Z is equal to minus 2 ohm, 1 ohm, minus 8 ohm and 3 ohm. You see that this option is same as that of the options A that we have selected earlier. So friends, given the network, you examine which process will be most easy to find the solution to save the time, and that skill that you have to develop by making your basic circuit concepts strong. Friends, during this tutorial, we have solved simple problems to enhance your basic circuit concepts. Once your basic circuit concepts are strong, you will be able to solve any complex problems. So, during the next tutorial, we shall take up some more complex problems and solve them easily. Hope you enjoyed this presentation. Thank you for watching.